Jessica Jones, episode 12, Take a Bloody Number, which, for the record, might be my favorite name for an episode so far, because there's a great little joke with it in the first, 2 minutes of the episode, and it really got me. I cracked up at it a lot, but this is the penultimate episode, and in it we see the return of Luke Cage, who we haven't seen for quite some time, because he got, a little upset over Jessica killing his wife, and then never telling him about it as she was sleeping with him. A little messed up. But it's nice to see him back because he's a great counterbalance for Jessica. He's played brilliantly by Mike Colter. I'm pretty sure that's his name, Mike Colter. And Jessica and him are just a great couple. They really go together quite well. And the two actors have great chemistry, so it's a joy to see them on screen together. And spoilers, although you probably should have figured that out by now. Don't watch these before you've seen the episode. Luke and Jessica fight in this episode because he's been deceptively under Kilgrave's control, because Kilgrave is attempting to make himself stronger so that he can control Jessica again, just like I called he would be. But I'll admit that's not really that big of a surprise. It really wasn't that much of a twist, but it was kind of fun to predict it. But anyway, we finally get the two of them fighting, and I mean, at least I've been waiting for that for pretty much the entire series, and it's a very entertaining fight. Luke Cage is a fucking tank that basically can't be stopped. His skin is unbreakable, and he's just as strong, if not stronger, than Jessica. And Jessica doesn't want to hurt Luke because, she likes him. She's got the feels for him. He's hot, and I like how he gets sexualized in this show way more than Jessica does. That's kind of funny, and I think it's part of the reason why my girlfriend likes the show so much. I've been talking about it in these episodes and doing all this stuff about it, that she started watching it, and she also loves it. Go Janelle. But back to the episode. Spoilers again. The show ends with Jessica getting her hands on a shotgun and sticking it right up into Luke's face and saying, "Please don't make me." And Luke says, "Do what you gotta do." And then she pulls the trigger, and we don't really see what happens, but he falls over. He's got unbreakable skin, so he's probably okay, but maybe he's not. But who knows? You gotta watch the final episode to find out. But I'm bringing this up because I just rewatched a bunch of YA crap for that, and I mean utter crap, for that Hunger Games recap video, and that doing so made me, just as I watched that, there's that scene in Divergent when Four and Triss are fighting, and Triss has the upper hand, and then Triss gets again, and she gets it on him, and Triss isn't stopping. He's still gonna kill her anyway, as he's mind controlled to kill the woman he loves, kind of like how Luke Cage is mind controlled to kill the woman he loves. And then Four gets right up in Triss's face as she has the gun, but instead of threatening him with the gun, she just lets go of the gun so that Four gets the gun and puts it into her head, and she says, "I love you. It's okay. I love you." And I just love how those are similar shots, but in this one, the actual good story, with a good, complex, strong female lead character. Unlike Divergent, which pretends to be all those things. She says, "Don't make me do it," and when it comes down to her or the guy, she chooses herself and she pulls the trigger. I just think that's awesome. In a day and age where we're getting things like Triss Pryor and Bella as our role models to look up to, it's nice to see Jessica Jones. And yes, Triss Pryor is not as bad as Bella, but she's still pretty bad. Anyway, I like that symbolism there, and I also enjoy it was nice to have that reminder. Oh no, that's what it was. I knew that there was something, but with the lawyer thing again. But I've already talked about that. How the Luke Cage Jessica story is a mirror of the Hogarth secretary story. And in an episode or two ago, 1000 Cuts. Hopefully you've seen that before you've seen this. Hogarth is told to cut. Hogarth's ex-wife Wendy is instructed to cut Hogarth 1,000 times with a knife, and so Wendy's chasing Hogarth around the house, slicing her and cutting, and it's just deep, brutal shit watching this. That's the scene that made me so cringe worthy and stuff, that it was so uncomfortable when I reviewed that episode. I mean, it's nice seeing another mirror as, Luke Cage and Jessica are fighting, and Luke is more or less beating the crap out of Jessica. I mean, she's holding her own fairly well, all things considered, but obviously Luke is going to win the long fight, just like how, Wendy probably would have won the long battle there if the secretary hadn't showed up and saved Hogarth. Just more cool mirrors. And another interesting pseudo mirror, in this episode, we see the sister of the guy who died, Ruben, who kind of had a crush on Jessica, one of the weird twins that I talked about earlier, and I said were weirdly incestuous, but I was totally wrong about that. But I said that because the first time we see them, he's wearing a diaper and she's got like spanking things, and Jessica says something about like, whatever kinky shit you guys are into, just keep it down. So that's what put me in that mindset. I was completely wrong about that. They are not incestuous. I take that back. They're just overly protective of each other. But the brother in that dies, leaving the sister lost and alone and confused and not knowing what to do with her life because her life was so wrapped around her brother. And she starts to get a relationship going with the character of Malcolm, who was the drug addict that, the drug addict that Kilgrave made, who's gotten clean now. And, Malcolm didn't kill Reuben, the brother, unlike Jessica, who did kill Luke Cage's wife, but Reuben did take the corpse of, Malcolm did take the corpse of Reuben and throw it in the river to hide it so Jessica wouldn't go to jail. So there's similarities between this story, this relationship budding between Malcolm and redheaded sister person and Luke and Jessica. And I just like how these stories are all interconnected, not just in the sense that they're being shown in the same episode. They share thematic similarities. They share concepts in the grander scheme of things. And that's just more of that great writing that I'm becoming a broken record by keep talking about. But just the fact remains is the writing for this show is incredible. The acting for this show is incredible. The characters are incredible. They're complex. They have multiple layers to them, like with the fight between Luke Cage and Jessica. Sometimes Luke is saying, you deserve this, and other times you could tell he doesn't like the fact that he's doing this. And then what does he say when Jessica puts the gun into his head and he can't stop himself from not killing her anyway? Do what you gotta do. That's... What is going on with this character? We don't know because the writing is so good. It's left up to our interpretation until we watch the next episode. And we want to watch the next episode because we want to know what he meant. And that is how you do episodic storytelling. Boom. And I'm also just kind of ranting now because I don't want to start episode 12. I really don't. I don't want to start episode 13. I just watched episode 12. I don't want this to be over. So here, let's look at my notes. What can I talk about? Oh, foreshadowing. So in this episode, there's this scene where Jessica and Luke are following a guy that they think might lead them to Kilgrave. But right as their motorcycle is taking off to follow him, in the same shot, there's a gigantic stop sign that's eating up most of the frame, and it's just stop. And they should have listened to the sign because they go and they follow this guy, and nothing but bad things happen from it. It doesn't go anywhere, and they just witness a man dying horribly. So this cool foreshadowing right there. But what else? I guess I covered all of that already. I'm out of things to talk about. This is one of my favorite shows of all time, and I'm about to watch the last episode, so this is a bit emotional for me, but I'll end this. I'll start editing in about 15 to 20 minutes. I'll probably start watching the episode. Maybe a half an hour. Maybe if it takes a while to upload. We'll see, but I hope this gets a second season. I hope it comes out soon, and I hope she's in Civil War. I hope she's in Infinity Wars, Part 1 and Part 2. Why are all the Marvel movies called Wars now? Anyway, Jessica Jones, Episode 13, here I come.